Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's Greenwood City Council meeting. It's Monday, January the 5th, 2026 at 7:04 p.m. Ms. Derry, would you call the roll for us, please?
Certainly. Mason Brown.
Here.
Ralph Baker.
Here.
Tim Terry.
Here.
Roger Rainwater.
Here.
Steve Tedford.
Here.
Rod Powell.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you very much. If everyone would please rise, we'll begin our meeting tonight with a prayer led by Trent Hampton from Calvary Temple, followed by our Pledge of Allegiance from Charlotte area.
Mayor, Councilman, y'all have any prayer requests? I know I've never done that, but I'm being serious. Anything that y'all need me to pray for, please?
Peace.
Peace?
Yeah.
That's a good answer. Okay. Lord, we love you. Thank you for this gift of the city, these elected officials, concerned citizens, God. We know that every good thing that we see, every bit of prosperity comes from you. We thank you for the blessings that you've given Greenwood and that you've given this region. And Lord, we acknowledge that those are from you. God, we ask that you would help us have unity, let us have peace. God, let decisions be made that would bring you glory, bring you honor, that would build a better community, build a better state. Lord, we thank you for all these blessings that you let us have, and the times that you've been able to see your hand at work. God, I ask that you would help us here tonight, that you would get glory, that your kingdom would come, your will would be done in Greenwood as it already is in heaven. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Please face our nation's flag. Place your hand on your heart. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. May be seated. At this time, I would ask the council to consider approval of the minutes for the December 1st, 2025 regular city council meeting and the December 22nd, 2025 special council meeting.
Mr. Mayor, I can make a motion on the December 1st meeting, the one with the special call meeting.
You should have, that's it right there.
I'll second. Yeah, I'll make a motion.
Both are delivered. We have a motion and a second.
Mr. Brown.
Yes.
Mr. Meeker.
Yes.
Mr. Terry.
Yes.
Mr. Rainwater.
Yes.
Mr. Tedford.
Yes.
Mr. Powell.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Moving on the agenda of recognitions and acknowledgements. We have a couple of guests here, or several guests, and thank you all for being here tonight, but I can't go without recognizing right off the top of the deal State Representative Lee Johnson, Dr. State Representative Lee Johnson, Jack Critcher, and what's your name, John? Wilkerson from Arkansas Municipal League. Thank you guys for being here, and we have other guests, and thank everybody for being here tonight. We'll get to you guys in a minute. You may or may not have to stay 4 hours. I'm just saying. And I didn't get to do, we were talking this morning in the department head meeting about the parade, and I was thinking we'd already had a meeting since then, but we had it right before, so I want to congratulate and acknowledge the parade, the Christmas parade this year. Bob, it was excellent, it was fantastic. I personally thought there were more people there than I've ever seen, ever. So very cool, and thank you for that, the job well done. And the
team effort.
Not really, no. It always is, and appreciate that. So thank you very much. The next thing I want to recognize and call out is if you will, is our police department. There was recently, can't talk about it, won't talk about it, one, because I don't know a lot about it, but there was an issue, a situation in Greenwood last week, Chief, with a citizen. I don't know if I should say any more than that, but it was handled as professionally as I've ever. I was actually out of town, and the chief called me to give me the information on it, but everything that I've heard and seen since, and especially the statement that the chief made after this situation, we appreciate that very much, and it was handled so professionally. We appreciate it. I know we have the best police department in the state of Arkansas. So thank you, Chief, and thank you your guys and your gals. Thank you so much. We are safe for a reason, and thank you for that. Moving on, right into the agenda, we have committee reports. I believe I looked this afternoon and everybody had turned in, is that right? Ms. Derry,
Well,
For-
maybe not.
building department.
Yeah, they just didn't get it this time.
Okay.
Big ones.
Okay, Hunter's been out, thanks, back, welcome back, Hunter. Back surgery. But if, again, as I've always said, if you don't have a report in front of you or on your tablet, please get with Danielle and we'll get what you need from those departments. So I think everything else is pretty self-explanatory. Now, citizen forum is, you guys didn't sign up, shame on you. I'm kidding. But I'm gonna let John and Jack come up and do what they need to do, and we appreciate them coming in from Little Rock tonight. We're honored to have you.
I appreciate you having us. I'm John Wilkerson. I'm General Counsel and Legislative Director for the Municipal League, which I'll say this, in May will mark 20 years I've been with the Municipal League, which is 20 years I've been working with great city officials, elected officials, and really none better than this city. I mean, the mayor, he's okay, but he's fantastic. Charlotte's amazing, Danielle. I mean, everybody in the city of Greenwood really is just a fantastic, it's just a fantastic group of people. And I know this area well. My cousins grew up here, so I care about Greenwood, and so I'm happy to be here. And as part of that 20 years of knowing city officials, you also get to know state elected officials. And so it's a great way to start off 2026 by honoring someone who I consider a dear friend, who I know is a dear friend of the city of Greenwood, and that's Representative Lee Johnson, who since he's been in office, I think for 8 years now, you said, right, has been really just a remarkable person, first and foremost, but a great legislator, and one that listens to us, works with us, identifies issues, tries to work through those issues, and of course y'all know him in the city council days, but it's a real blessing to honor him today with the Distinguished Legislator Award because of all of his hard work in 2025 and every session before that too, and we really relish this opportunity. So Representative Johnson, in honor of those you demonstrated exemplary service that benefited cities and towns of Arkansas from the 95th General Assembly, I hereby bestow upon you the Distinguished Legislator Award. Thank you very much. Thank
you. Beach.
Yeah, no, listen, y'all guys know, I wouldn't be down there doing this if it wasn't for the people in this room. I mean, if Rod had told me to run for city council 18 years ago, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to go serve in the state legislature, and it's been the greatest privilege I've had to be down there serving the people of Greenwood, the people of the state of Arkansas. I never thought I would have a passion for anything. I mean, I like medicine, but I truly have a passion for legislation and policy and problem solving. And it's been great to be down there doing that. I'm glad I'll get to continue doing it for a while longer. So appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Surely you don't think I'm not going to get in the picture. Jack,
Go ahead, Jack.
you want to, Danielle, would you take our picture, please?
No, Charlotte's here.
Oh, sure.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. I mean, as mayor, that's just what you do.
Okay.
Mayor, second.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for coming.
Podium's yours. Yep.
So if you'll indulge me for a little bit longer, I do have another topic I want to cover with you real quick. And it is issue 3, which will be on the ballot in November. Has anybody here heard of issue 3 yet? All right. So issue 3 is, well, I'll start with a question. What do you want for Greenwood? A lot of cities say Chick-fil-A. Some say Walmart. Some say more jobs, some sort of retailer, an academy of sports, whatever it may be. And really, that's where we'd like to start the conversation about issue 3. It will be on the Constitution. It will be on the ballot November of 26. And what it is essentially the voters having this say over whether cities and counties are given the keys to the economic engine of that city or county. It is, I would say, once in a generational opportunity, perhaps even once in a lifetime opportunity, where the state could give us, I would say, ultimate control over our economic progression, our future, but a lot of it. Here's what it essentially does. As you may know, cities don't have a whole lot of tax incentives that they can give. No real incentives at all, especially for retailers. This is unlike every other state around us. And when I talked to the mayor of Searcy the other day, he had actually come back from a 9th grade civics class, and the students in that class said, what kind of economic incentives do you have as the mayor of Searcy? And he said, Unlike Texas, we don't have a whole lot. But issue 3 allows those sort of incentives. It is all about local control. If you don't want to mess with this, you don't have to mess with this. If you want to try to find a way to incentivize a McDonald's or you have McDonald's, but wherever you want to go. Back to that question I asked you a second ago. The city now has tools in the toolbox to, again, chart their economic future and have more ability, more hands-on ability to have those keys to the economic engine. So it can be anything from a grant to a business. I'm not saying that that's what you want to do, but it's anything from granting money, loaning money, or the big one is sales tax abatement, which is a retailer can come in and say, can you help us out and give us half of the sales tax money we're going to generate in this business back to us. For a part of town that has no sales tax generation, you're basically saying we'll give you half or 30% or 10% or whatever the number is of tax that doesn't even exist right now. The same is true for property tax, which I know we don't do property tax, the counties do, but a vacant piece of property that has 0%, $0 of property tax, the county can come in and say, you know what, if you build this, you do it to our specifications, you have the right amount of jobs, you bring in the right amount of money, then the county can say we'll offset 50% of your property taxes. Again, this is no money out of the city's coffers. This is an ability for the city to say, you know what, if you build it and they come and there's sales tax available that we didn't have before, you can have some of that back to help pay off whatever you're needing to do to get that business up and running. Again, you do not have to do anything, but it is a tool that Texas has, Mississippi has, Missouri has, every other state around us has it. And I can tell you from experience, we are losing opportunities to Texas, to Oklahoma, to Missouri. So again, it is on the ballot in 2026. It is all about local control. You have complete control over how this works. The devil will be in the details, of course. Once this gets passed, if it gets passed in November 26th, the legislature then takes up exactly how to implement it. So again, issue 3 is about local control, giving the cities and the counties more ability to control their economic future. I could dive deeper into it. I promise you, Americans will see me do it. It gets real deep real quick, and it's not a waste of time. It's a great use of time, but you don't have that kind of time.
Sure you do, right?
Okay, perfect. We're good? All right, good. Please ask me any questions. You know where I work, in the municipal league. I'll take some now if you need them, obviously.
Well, I may have this confused from what I was reading. Is it a bit like setting up an improvement district where you would set up an area?
Yes.
And so, like an improvement district, there's going to be, we're a little town, and our law office consists of right there. And so, will the municipal league help us set up one of these economic districts if they're going to help us, with the legal and stuff?
That is the plan. Yeah, because we realize that there's not a whole lot of, I'm included in this, lawyers that know how to navigate an economic development agreement on behalf of the city, really of any size. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm having conversations with developers, with builders across the state to try to get a better understanding of how this works so that the municipal league can be set up to help cities like this, or cities with something like this.
Will that come in an additional fee, or is that part of what we've been paying?
I don't know yet. The board meets in August. I hope to have a plan in place by August so that we can hit the ground running to know exactly how that would work. So I don't know yet. To your question about an improvement district, they're called economic development districts.
Yes.
And so you set it up over, you can do it over the entire town. I don't think I'd recommend that. But you could do it in, you have some vacant lots that we talked about during the executive session or executive meeting. You could place the EDD over that vacant lot, have it run by the city council, or perhaps the city council and some interested parties, some developers that you know and trust, and work with the counties to say, counties, you're getting $0 off that property right now. We're getting 0 sales tax dollars off that property. If retailer, business, whatever it is, if you buy that property, if you set this up, if you agree to employ 25 people over the next 5 years, for the next 5 years, you will get half of your sales tax back. Something like that could work. And the county could say the same thing. You could have half of your property tax back. By the way, this works much better if the county judge is involved, or court, I should say, is involved. I think it really unlocks the opportunities for Sebastian County if the county is there with you on this project.
Question, Oklahoma, how long has that been in place over there, John?
I don't even know, it's
Forever.
been a while, yeah.
I know personally, since I've been sitting in this chair, that Poto, great town, great, I know mayor, everybody's great over there, but they have benefited from this for a long time.
Right.
And things, folks, restaurants, other things that were thinking about coming on this side, realize that they're not gonna get anything.
Right.
So they go to Oklahoma, and I'm sure it's same in Texas, so.
Yeah.
I look forward to it, I hope it's something, and the judge and I have Judge Host and I have spoken very briefly on this, so he is in support from what I can tell, so.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate y'all giving me the opportunity to talk about this. I'm trying to go to cities to talk about this a little bit more. And so it's a perfect time. Honor Lee Johnson, talk about issue 3. And again, you know where I work. If you ever want to talk about questions or ideas or whatever it is.
I know where you're employed, where do you work?
I'm
I'm joking, you know I'm joking.
Well, thank y'all again very much.
Thank you,
Good to see y'all
sir.
again.
Appreciate it, thank you, Jack, for coming.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
Johnson, if we can do it, put it together, would it be possible maybe to set up a little bit of a forum, maybe sometime later in the summer, get you back up here and visit with some of our business people and with also members of the council, we kind of get a local land use
Yeah.
information?
By the way, with that in mind, the state chamber, we're working closely with the state chamber on this. So we're all in it together, so I think a forum would be, yeah, sure.
Good, we'll try to set that up.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Greg
sir.
Lee to do it too.
Yes, stay.
I did.
No, just run. Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank y'all very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
See you in a couple of weeks.
See you next week.
Who said Lincoln?
I'm walking them out.
You got your, yeah, no. He got his plaque, he's walking them out. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
I'm waiting for my
Yeah.
All right, good stuff. Now here we go. Bring us all down. Tom,
Oh, is it?
financial
No.
report.
Nobody else wants to.
Oh, I'm sorry. Look at Gwen, she gave me the slide out. So we have one young lady that has signed up tonight. If you will come to the podium, ma'am, state your name and your address. Sorry.
So, good evening. I'm Gwen Martin, address 1455 Everett Drive.
Is that on?
It's on.
Okay, because
There was.
I was told today
Push the button.
that hardly ever can hear. Can you check it?
You see it?
There you go. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. So, I am the executive director of the Greenwood Fine Arts Academy, and I've spoken to the council before, but tonight I am coming to humbly ask that you consider financially supporting our organization once we have a building in, that is operating. So we're asking for operating support, similar to what you do for the Boys and Girls Club or the Senior Center, and other maybe organizations, maybe the library, that things that the city doesn't provide that we can provide for our citizens. Right now, we are set up to support youth and youth theater specifically, and that's really because we are limited to what we can do. We currently use the Performing Arts Center at Greenwood High School, and the school has been phenomenal in sharing that space with us and allowing us to use it. But we are, extremely limited on what we can do there because they have so many events going on all the time. So building a multi-purpose art center, community space will allow us to have more classes. We're going to do, not only theater, but we'll do art classes. We want to partner with the Greenwood Art Guild to do multi-generational art classes. So we'll have support from older individuals, mentoring the younger kids as they come up in the different disciplines. But we also, have the plans for this building to be a community space. We'll be able to host meetings there. You know, the municipal board were to come, that'd be a great facility to have meetings and to welcome the public in. We're gonna do, you know, exhibits, and the space will be able to be rented for, you know, parties or different things, movie nights, all kinds of things. So in saying all that, think about supporting us. I know this is kind of a challenging time for the city and our financial situation. Obviously, I'm on the Parks Commission, and so I'm very familiar with what's going on. But keep in mind too that our building and our organization will generate revenue. This will be a big economic impact for our city. We'll have lots of people coming in to see these shows and to go to these events. I mean, the theater will seat just under 300 people. So it's going to be something that draws a lot of attention to our city.
You talk a little bit about, they may all know probably where the building is going.
Right, so we purchased land at 109 North Main Street, so that's directly across the street from where the Masonic Lodge is currently being built. We tore down a structure there that probably needed to go years ago.
And you've turned in plans of said buildings and planning department,
We have.
already. It's pretty cool looking facilities and old.
Yeah, there's some nice color prints that
Yeah.
they're in that
We'll
back
bring-
room.
we'll
They
bring
should
them
be
out.
up the whole.
Yeah, we'll get them out a lot.
Yeah, we'll get them out there. So, thank you for your time.
Want to do a commercial?
One more plug.
Okay.
We are doing a fundraiser on January 17th at the Greenwood Performing Arts Center. It will be a variety show. So I'm going to give you all each one of these, but our own Mayor Kinslow will be the master of ceremonies for the variety show. So I know if you only come out to watch him, it'll be a show in itself. So.
I'm there.
The website's on there.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate you. All right, you guys have to stay too, right? Chad's like, Chad's all right. I guess not. Thank you, Robert. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Tom, are you leaving?
Tom's leaving too.
Bye, Tom.
You're gonna ride me out.
All right. Mr. Marsh, you are up, sir.
Okay, this will be the wrap up for the financials for the year 2025. You'll see the end of year numbers. We still haven't actually physically closed the books yet. We're still working on getting all the numbers and the journal entries made. But as far as where we're looking, the city sales and use tax had an actual increase over December of 24. 25 over 24 was 2.07%, so we experienced an increase. The cumulative growth, though, was down from 24's numbers by 4.46%, which put us against budget, which we had a 3% budget growth. We lost against budget 7.46% for the year in city sales and use tax. We'll get a little bit more into that in a second. As far as the county sales tax is concerned, the good news was that even though we were down 1.38% over December of the previous year's collections, the cumulative growth did have what I consider to be a zero growth, 0.02%, which rounded is a zero growth. So we ended up on right at budget for county sales tax. Advertising and promotion, even though that skewed number of 32.43% increase over the same period of December, a lot of that had to do with late pay or catch-up that was being done at the end of the year. However, the cumulative growth for A&P tax collection over 425 was down from 24 by 2.65%. Now, remember, that's just against the previous year. They had a 4% budgeted growth. So they're down 6.65 against budget. So there's your highlights of the numbers for the tax revenues. as far as the city sales and use tax distribution is concerned, against other cities and how the other cities fared between 25 and 24. Fort Smith's already reported they had a decline in their sales tax. We had an increase, kind of bucking that trend. Hackett had an increase, Midland an increase. Barley and Bonanza, it's just the ones that you see there, Hartford, Huntington, Mansfield, and Fort Smith were down. Now remember, we all stand alone, so you have to look at it, you can't compare us against another, but our sales for the city of Greenwood were up 2.07% from the previous year. As far as the city sales and use tax, when you look at it from the previous months, the trend was down in 25, was negative all the way through. And we actually ended up down, like I said, 4.46%. When you look at those numbers and you want to see what that impact is to the actually the 4 departments this year in that city sales and use tax, there's a 1% that comes in. That number that's listed there, the 167,328 difference between the 3.7 million and the 3.5 million that was collected for the year, that 167,000 has to be increased by the 3% that we had against budget. So we were down $167,000 from the previous year's collections, but from budget, we were down $279,000. Budgeted numbers were what initially the fire, street, and parks department were counting on. So when you look at those 3 departments, it cost them $39,978,000 in revenue from budget, against budget. So that $39,000 would have been in their coffers had we hit budget. We've already discussed reasons why that didn't happen. As far as the water sewer, the impact to water sewer was $159,000. Now they do generate a little over $2 million in their numbers. That 1% which they collect is also down. So their loss was $159,000 and $39,000 for each of the departments, fire, parks, and street. So I wanted to give you those numbers. As far as the rebate data, a little higher than I thought. It's $10,470 for the month of December. However, when you do the calculation in August, which usually is reflecting the June numbers for the fiscal year ends June 30th, if you added these 5 months right here between August and December up and compare the 5 months for 2025, we're actually, the rebate was $2,500 less than it was in the 2024 period, 5-month period. So kind of ended up about even, and that's one of the reasons why we're going to predict and we're going to budget flat. We're not going to take any measures to decrease what we're predicting. We're projecting that this February, we may still see a rather high end-of-year rebate coming in February. We think that what's generating that, what we believe is generating that, has a lot to do with that road work that's up on the bypass. We think that their major purchasing will probably equal or be slightly less than it was this year because of the amount of work they've already done. And I don't know when any of the additional work will be started for their phase 2. But right now we're going with in the budget process with a 0 growth. We're going to just keep it at the numbers that we achieved this year and see how that fares for the first quarter. And we'll at least see where the trend is going. And by the end of the first quarter, when we have our budget study session in April, you'll know what this number January or February comes in for the large scale rebate. As far as the tax audit adjustment, even though it did increase by $10,000, we'll have that number as well. This is also factored in to our budget prognostication on revenue stream from tax, city sales and use tax, to conclude that we're going to go with a 0 growth. As far as the amount that was brought in as taxable sales, that's a different number. If you were to put back in the rebate and the audit adjustment into the distributions and say there wasn't any rebate and just remove the effect, the 2.07 growth would have been about a 4% to 3.5%, 3.59% growth. And then if you were to look at the distributions for the entire year, this goes through the full fiscal year. The amount that was distributed absent of or added back, the rebate and audit adjustment was 4.3 million. This 4.2, we were down that 2.28, which you've already seen. As far as the taxable sales is concerned, that's about a $5 million reduction in taxable sales for the year. For the year that contributes to the distribution, which you know is 2 months in 24 and all of 25 through October. November and December will be 26. So that's still telling a little bit of a story there because of the 219 million that was collected in 24 based on the distribution. It would be 214 for this year, and that's where that 5 million comes from. So it was a little bit of a decline in factors that are other than rebate that went into that. I just wanted you to see that. County sales tax, that's the numbers and that's how it panned out. And that, I believe, is in your packet. We also have the combined sales tax. As far as all taxes, county and city, we were down 2.62 for the year. Now, when you go to the advertising and promotion, oddly enough, they were down 2.65%, which is kind of in line with the total collection that we had. You do see the August, September, October, and then December months. There was a lot right back here, 25% down, 16, 15. Those were where there were some late payers in there, and they caught up at the end of the year. There was a push to make those entities aware, and they brought in some of their payments, did a lot of catch up there. Still wasn't enough to impact positively the growth. There was no growth, it was 2.65% down. They are well aware of that, and we are budgeting flat as well for advertising promotion for 2026. Historical trends shows that the percent change from 1 year against the previous year, 12 to 10 to 12 to 9 to 5 to 6, a little bit of a bump there, and back down to negative 5.49. So 2025 retail-wise and sales-wise was a down year for us. And that parlayed into the A&P as well. As far as cash flow is concerned, we started the 2025 year 17 million. We had a net decrease in cash for the month of December alone at $977,000. Our year-to-date decrease in our cash position was $4.8 million. And that brings our all fund balance to $12,166,000. And that is a 28.62% decline in our actual cash position. However, if you go against the budget, where we would be if the budget had actually performed to the extent that it was projected, we projected down 67%. So a lot of that had to deal with the capital side. And I'll show you that right now. We budgeted 15, total capital budget was 15.9, right under 16 million. We spent 8.7 million, so there's $8 million in savings just right there. 55.14% is what we ended up city-wise. If you look at the water sewer did come in above 50%, 50.55. They actually promised that in their meeting, that they would meet that 50% mark. Capital spend for the city, then other than water sewer, was 65.18% spent. So there were some adjustments and delays in projects given what was happening with the city sales and use tax. So we are managing that. And you'll see that when the full budget presentation is done. You'll see how that reflects in the 26 budget as far as what their carryovers are going to be and what they're doing and not doing in that budget to accommodate where our projected revenue streams are coming from. Given that, I believe that's it.
Questions, comments from council? My prediction is we're going to get better and better. And my hope and my prayer.
No red.
Sir?
No red, then.
That would be great.
I can take the red out.
I asked him to change it to blue, and he said
Well, I
no.
think it's what the red represents.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Tom, appreciate you. You'll be glad to hear there were no agenda additions this morning from department heads. Does the council have anything they need to add? If not, we'll move on to old unfinished business. Number one is city attorney, repeal replace ordinance, number 23-17, private club permitting its third reading.
AC had some,
Oh,
we
yeah.
had a concern about that wording on page 8,
Yeah.
and I reworded it at the top to make it more clear.
That was a renewal cost, but.
Yeah, it wasn't super clear before.
That be what you were looking for? Councilman Brown, but better?
That shaded part up at the top. Or do you still have issue with it?
Well, I guess I was wondering, in further reading on that, on page 2 of this, it says that is the application fee different from the permit fee?
I believe that the application fee goes towards the permit fee, is the way I understand it. I may be wrong.
Well, I guess I was just trying to determine that because it says, that there is a one-time fee charged for applying for the ordinance, and it said that it's not prorated, and it may be refunded. So I was wondering, saying, that wording says it cannot be prorated, does that apply to Exhibit A, where we do try to prorate it?
Oh, application fee says it's not prorated, but yet we have it up there as prorated.
If you apply for half the year.
Yeah, but it does say at the application fee that it's not prorated, it's $1,500. I don't know why there's that conflict. I do know that from the outset, we prorated it. So I guess I wasn't aware that it had that not prorated wording in there.
I always thought, that from the outset we did always,
We did.
even with rate.
I remember it.
And so I just wondered if that we need to strike that not prorated, or is that by state law that it's not prorated?
It's not by state law, that was us.
Yeah, I think it's our own doing.
You think we should strike the not prorated language there? I mean, that would be all.
Also
we can do.
strike the section 4F, but I don't see section.
That should be 5F. I just saw that. Yeah, sorry.
Same definition we were just talking about, but where it says section 4F should be section 5F.
So,
That's what I was wondering, it shouldn't be prorated, or isn't that what we're doing there on the application, saying that we're
Yeah.
gonna give them only, if it applied in July or later, or we're gonna give them, target 7,500? Or
I think that was,
750?
I think that was the reasoning behind it, since you're not gonna get a full year of your initial permit fee if it's after July 1st. The problem is if you get denied, it says in that section 5F that you get a full refund of $1,500, so.
you may not pay.
Right, if you only pay $750.
We're gonna give you a bone.
So the application fee is not supposed to be prorated, but the permit fee can be? I don't understand.
That's where I'm kind of,
Permit fee would be annual after that, so there would never be a need to prorate it.
Yeah, that makes more sense. It's weird because
So,
I would think we would prorate the application fee. If they come in the last 6 months of the year, it should be prorated. But like Travis said, the annual permit, if you get granted it, it's just gonna be $1,500 a year, there will be no proration. It's $1,500 no matter what. So we just need to
well, then that goes back to.
strike that not prorated there, that word. That was like that in the existing 23-17. I just read it. I looked in there because I was like, I never really noticed that was in there.
So for Exhibit A, then should we say the annual permit renewal is 1,500, but the initial permit fee, should that really be the application fee? Or is-
Yeah, it's calling it a
There's a-
permit fee, but yeah.
There's a conflict in the language, so yeah, I think that would probably fix it.
Initial application instead of permit fee.
Initial
Strike
application.
permit, put application.
Initial application backslash permit fee.
Okay. Add the word application fee. Okay. So just that word will fix that, I think. And then strike the not prorated part up in application fee definition, yes? Okay. And then correct that to say 5F instead of 4F in the application fee. Yeah, that was convoluted.
So, let me make sure I understand. If it's the second half of the year, it is gonna be $750. Okay, then in section F, the $1,500 fee is required in subsection A will be refunded in full. Should we just say the fee as required and leave the $1,500 out, so we would never, so we wouldn't, there wouldn't be the possibility of them being refunded $1,500?
In the 5F.
So you want to.
Just scratch 1,500.
In
Yeah.
F on page 2, the fee is required in subsection A will be refunded in full. So if it was $750, it would be refunded $750. If it were $1,500, it'd be $1,500.
Yeah, just strike the 1,500, just say the fee. It'll be applying to whatever they actually pay. Yes,
Yes. Or you could say not to,
that's a good point.
the fee should never exceed the amount that was initially paid.
I like taking the money off.
And furthermore,
$1 off.
in B, same principle should apply. In B, you should just take off that $1,500, you just say the fee.
If it is in A. as well.
Application fee put there.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay,
Swapping
application.
1,500 for the application,
Yes.
application.
Mentions it in section A, or section 5A as well. $1,500 fee.
Let's say by appropriate fee or
App- Application fee.
by application fee? That sounds good.
Now, the issue I'm kind of wondering, you're talking about, in the original application fee definition, it says it needed for state application. Is that why we keep seeing the 1,500? Is the 750 something we've done locally?
1,500 is what we've done locally, the state's in excess of what we're doing.
So if someone comes in August and applies at 750, and then once it goes to the state, where does the other 750 come from? That they're requiring?
That the state requires?
Well, it's
I have
15.
no idea what the state requires.
I thought you said it's 1,500 needed for state application.
Where are you at, Tim?
I'm on that definition of application fee where we started. I mean, is the state requiring something here, or is this just all us?
I think it's us.
I thought it was the state's setting the fee, but
Well, they pay the fee, they come to us, we say, okay, then it goes to the state. I mean, is the state requiring something else after that?
Then the state's got its own form like this. And it's gonna have its own cost.
I just don't want us to have, I mean, obviously, they're not breaking the door down or apply for this club license. It's only been on the books for about 10 years, but I just didn't want to have to be paying $750 for somebody. club, which I don't care who else is.
I mean, it does say in section 13 that it's not just the application fee that's prorated. It says in section 13 on page 5 that it talks about the prorating things there, and it's calling it the permit fee, not the application fee.
Yep. And I don't have any problem with the prorate, that makes perfect sense, because you're only getting,
Do you think we should just make it everywhere that it should be prorated? Unless it's like an annual renewal?
well, the thing is though, even if they apply it on December 31st, they're not gonna be reaping any benefits of the building or the club until the next year. If they do it in July 1st, by the time we go through all the rigmarole, they're not, I mean, you're never gonna.
Why wouldn't you theoretically just wait until January 1st and get
Right,
something
or
for
just
it?
make it 1,500 period and not prorate. I mean, because you gotta go through 3 readings, we're gonna have all pitchforks and fire torches down here breathing. And then if it passes, let's say July, August, September, October, you got November and December, then you gotta go to the state. And who knows how long it'll take down there, by that time it'll be January. I mean, so to even get, if you apply in January of a year, then you're done by August, you might have some action going in the same year that you applied, but
What
that's
is it?
probably a little bit of division.
Does anybody know how long it takes once you go to the state? Travis, you're a restaurant guy.
It's our beer.
Generally, 60 to 90 days.
About 60 to 90 days.
Right. I mean, I don't know if I wouldn't just say, make it 1,500.
The application fee is 1,500 and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I understand what we were trying to do by half of that and half the year, but
I think the worry was that they show up in November, we give them, they pay $1,500 fee. They turn around and get approved by the state, they show up in December, they owe another $1,500.
well, that's just the thing, it's not gonna get through our deal until March in your scenario. And then it's gotta go to the state, so now we're talking June. And so finally in July, they're approved, they're fixing to fire it up. Well, then their annual fee would start, they'd pay $1,500, I guess we'd start in June every year, I don't know how that works. If you just say it's 1,500 regardless,
I agree with Tim, it's just ought to say $1,500 and that's it.
Yeah, they're gonna, so if they, whenever they buy it, that is a year from then, is that right? Sure.
Do it.
Whenever they buy their permit or get their permit, we're not, it is starting in that month as a year.
Well, we've never sold a permit, they're only applying.
So is this 1,500 per year?
yes.
Yeah,
Is there,
It's like the average is per calendar year, it's not on a,
Right.
so we have here an application fee that says $1,500, but there's not an annual, where is the supplemental privilege? Where is the annual fee listed in here?
13, section 13.
Well, it's showing here that the
Okay,
state
five.
is the same way, they prorate it down to half. If it's any permit issue between January and July, shall be 1/2 the amount of the fee.
Well, section 13 is really talking about an application fee,
But it says permit fee though.
but it says permit fee, but permits obtained after July 1st of each year shall pay half the annual fee. So it's talking about, it's describing that permits obtained after July 1st as though it's an application fee.
Well, we're calling an application fee in our previous conversation here, but section 13 is talking about the permit fee, not the application fee.
And a permit fee would be, once they got approved at every level, went through all the red tape, and they get approved for their permit on August the 10th. So then we would just charge them $750 for that first year of the annual fee, and then we'd start them fresh at January 1st? Or would you want to start them August? And every business would be different, it'd be just a smorgasbord. I mean, I don't have to
I
be.
think, you know, if you're you're gonna charge them $750 when they apply in the second half of the year, I think it'll be $1,500. But I think we need to have some language in here for a renewal fee, rather than just the application fee.
Well, that's in your Exhibit A at the top, it says renewal costs $1,500 back there on the application.
And where are you looking at that?
Page 8, Exhibit A, at the very, that's the first thing it says. It's just a matter of, do you have to renew on January 1st, or do you renew when you finally get the green light to start serving your private club stuff?
Section 14 addresses that.
I don't,
So,
They expire on December 31st.
So the state law says it shall be 1/2 of the applicable amount, so it's, I don't know, I mean, that Travis would opine, but
Yeah, he just showed me that same thing.
state law is, this is coming from state law and not something we could establish.
That 1/2 is.
okay, I think that in our definitions, we need to have a renewal, definition of the renewal, that it's gonna be a full, it wouldn't ever be prorated, and that there needs to be some clarity on application fee, renewal fee, and permit fee, and I think it's confusing the way it is.
In section 14, what we're talking about right now, it says, no permit shall be issued for more than the remainder of the calendar year. So it's acting like it wants everything renewed on January 1st at midnight. That everything starts there, regardless of what you pay or.
And the way I look at it, you're applying for a permit. I mean, we call it, the saying it's an application, but you're applying for a permit. So I say,
Well, the application, I think, is just as good you get from Charlotte, whoever, when you want to start applying. And then you bring it here, and you get all this filled out, we go through the 3 readings, you go to the state, then you get a permit.
Get a permit from the state, you bring it back to Charlotte, and then you get a permit from us.
Which is $1,500 a
And
year.
every year, they're gonna pay $1,500 to us.
And I don't know how the state has a fee for their permit per se, but that's up to you and the state. If you, I think our definitions are okay, because this is just an application, and once you get approved at every level, then you have a permit to start operating a business. And it's $1,500 a year, regardless of whether you started.
well, I guess the way I'm hearing you talk about, you're saying that they don't owe the either $1,500 or $750 until after the 3 readings?
Well, normally they would, I think they cut that check right out of the gate, right, from
Right.
the application.
They cut
That's
it.
what I
And then if it's
said,
all denied, you get the money back.
Money back, right,
They've
okay.
done that. They, one entity did that.
Right, and they got their money back. But I'm just saying that you're just gonna pay the $1,500. The $750, if you apply it at the second half of the year, shouldn't, I don't think it should be prorated. That's just the fee to get your application.
Yes, but that's what she's saying, that it's in the state.
Yeah,
Here's
what
what
the
that
state's
state
wrong
is.
too.
It says $1,500.
The state's wrong
It
too.
says shall in the state. so.
Shall.
Okay.
But it does say shall for the permit fee, not the application fee, that's the difference.
Correct.
It regulates the price of the permit of which we provide them once they have applied and been approved by the ABC board.
Yeah, the applications are totally, it's just our kitty to get things rolling.
You look like Hunter, but you don't.
I know, that's so weird.
I know in the hat. We think it's Hunter.
Anyways, the fee
Is that called?
parts can be probably worked out, Travis can check and make sure it's all kosher.
What do you guys want it to be?
Why not?
Sir.
I mean, approved.
I just-
I think our application, when you come in and get this Exhibit A, you're gonna have a $1,500 check, whether it's December 31st,
Agreed.
May 8th, June 15th, which is my birthday, or whatever, $1,500, thank you. You fill this out, then you come back in here and let everybody scream and yell at you, and for 3 months, and then if we don't vote it down, then we give you $1,500 check back. If we say go ahead, then the state does their deal. If they pass it, then you come back in here and you start paying $1,500 permit fee a year. I think the pro rate ought to just go out the window.
Is it okay though, if it doesn't match?
Well, I mean, the state law says you can do it, so here we can't. But you said the state law's talking about the permit fee, right?
Yeah, it's talking about a permit.
So if all the red tape gets through everything and it's September, then we should just charge them $750 for the annual permit for that first 4 months.
This is all going through the clerk, right?
Well,
That's just the application.
Then if you look at page 9,
Yeah.
page 9, on item 3, it says initial permit fee. Initial fee is $1,500 per year, $750 if application is after July the 1st. So again, they're not talking application, they're talking about initial permit fee.
The very first one.
The very first one. Then they say the renewal fee is $1,500 annually.
Yeah,
Yeah, we worked all this out when we
yeah.
banged on this out the very first time.
So
It was
that's, the
understood.
permit fee is prorated per state law and per our, but the application fee is not prorated. It shouldn't be.
Yeah, if I were to ever do this, somebody came in and it was all going and flowing, I would just follow these steps. And I mean, that's what I have done, which,
So you were right originally in the application fee definition to say not prorated.
so we still need to strike that.
No, I don't think you do.
I don't either. I think it's okay.
I mean, we were just getting permit fee and application fee, but
Yes.
they're two different deals.
Confused, yes. I
We did
too.
come full circle. We had a perfect document.
Yeah,
like the
yeah, yeah.
Constitution.
It was all worked out, except, well, it didn't have perfect because we need 5 F, right? Not
The
3.
5F.
but the importance of getting it right and knowing it's right before the
Yes,
first one comes in, or
yes.
the new first one.
And we do want still application instead of the 1,500 on page 3. I think that is good. So put the word application instead of the 1,500 because of the 750, 1,500 application.
I think so.
Difference.
I think it was.
Wait a minute, where are you talking about?
Yeah,
Page 3, 5A.
yep.
A, B.
A and B. And then striking 1,500 on F. 5F. Just say the fee. Still okay?
That seems less ambiguous.
Uh-huh.
Yes, because that's talking about the application.
Charlotte, you're the one that's gonna be going through this,
Right.
and you're gonna want, be one holding the $1,500 check and seeing the applications, and answering their questions.
Yeah. I'll just send them to Travis.
I mean, it's pretty easy. Any application fees $1,500 regardless of when or where. Permit fees can be prorated if it's approved after July 1st.
So is Exhibit A the application?
Yes.
It is.
Yes.
And it still stands that that is prorated, yes? Yeah, we agree.
The
So,
application is not prorated. It's $1,500. The permit fee, if you're applied, if you're approved from the state and to the city, then it'll be prorated.
I see in parentheses, it says this is an initial application or annual renewal.
right,
That's
all
why
right.
that
that's
wording
right.
is there.
Yeah, so I think that needs to be
That's-
scratched. Just either need to just
Have two
eliminate that
different
line
forms,
right
maybe?
there.
Well,
Two different forms, maybe one for a renewal.
it is the initial application, and it also is the annual renewal form. You just need to take out where the $750 applied right here, that needs to go. I mean, I'm sorry, that is the permit fee,
Oh, see, annual permit renewal cost is $1,500 right there.
yes.
The application fee, we're gonna put the word application.
Right.
So then the prorated thing.
Yes.
It's
Okay.
not better for you to have 2 documents.
So you need to add another line.
No,
Do what?
You need to add another line that says application fee.
It's $1,500.
Well, we were gonna put that word application, initial application / permit fee. Okay, we need to get rid of
Did we just call it
The
App-
initial
a permit
one,
application
that's
or
right.
renewal app?
Yes,
Or
because
renewal?
if they get their initial.
I think it would be better to have 2
Yes.
separate forms
After
myself.
June 30th. then it's $750.
I think that's why she got it highlighted, because it's telling me that the initial permit fee is something different than the application.
And the
Yes.
annual permit fee.
And then the annual permit fee, yes, correct.
What do you folks think?
This is crazy, isn't it?
So you don't read.
Study session about this.
I'm kind of like,
Ordinance.
Gotta need something.
I'm kind of like council around two, but you don't think two documents?
It's fine.
Is it
I
too
mean,
much?
if you want,
Would it
I think too.
simplify it just to call it a permit application and a permit renewal?
It is already,
That's what it is.
privilege permit application, and initial application and renewal, all.
It says it in the header, it's for initial application or renewal.
Yeah, it's both right now.
And then it breaks it down and tells you that the permit is $1,500. The,
Charlotte's dealing with them.
Where does it say the application fee is?
That's what needs to be added.
I
yes,
really
that's what
have
needs to be
no-
added.
That's what she,
There needs to be
Prior
a-
she was gonna add that.
Running experience with it,
Another line.
Yes.
only one person has applied, ever.
You're shaking your head.
Well,
Is
they
that
should have, but they
what
didn't.
we're talking about?
We still have money.
None or none?
Me?
I thought you were shaking your head.
No, it's not good.
Travis?
Yes.
On our application form, you know, it refers to state law 3-9-22131A. That is still current. They did amend it, or did they repeal, or did they replace it?
221318.
Yeah. While we're going through all this, I just want to make sure that was correct, because I know they did do some amending to it. We're good.
Were you talking about locker systems and pool? Is that what you're talking about? About the middle of the page?
It's just the method for dispensing alcoholic beverages pursuant to ACA 3-9-22131A.
Then it has the two.
Yeah,
Yes.
still.
The two options. The two.
Okay. And on the following page, the 3-9-2222, that's still good. They did.
Yeah, they haven't changed state law out there. Still the same.
I thought they changed some state law about how you get it, how it could be delivered. That's what it was referring, I thought that's what it was referring to.
I thought they only changed the nonprofit thing, that's all.
Was
Tell
that-
me
was that
where
not
the
in?
private club would get it from to dispense it, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, there's something when I read it, that only certain people could bring it in in certain ways, and they kind of did some things there. They made it less restrictive.
That should actually be 3-9-221B1A, lowercase b.
So we need to change that on this, so our application is correct. Did you catch that, Charlotte?
No. On there, the method used, what's that number now?
It should be 3-9-221, lowercase b, 1A.
Okay,
Instead of the two.
gotcha. I'll change that. So as far as I understand it, that change needs to be made to this page 8, and then we need to also
Right.
put application on initial application in the shaded part. Instead of permit fee, it should say.
Actually, Charlotte, I think I would put ACA 3-9-221 at SEC,
Okay.
ET,
Mm-hmm.
SEQ. Okay,
For sure.
that covers all of that.
Okay, instead of the 221D one?
Yeah,
Okay,
that covers all 221.
okay, yes.
'Cause I could see another part that might apply.
Travis?
Yes, sir.
So on the next page, on page 9, where pursuant to state law 3-9-222, we're still okay there. That hasn't changed. That's a question.
Come on.
Charlotte, while he's looking, I I think at the header of Exhibit A, it just needs to say that your application permit cost is $1,500. And then you can squeeze it in there above annual permit renewal costs.
Application permit cost or just application fee?
Okay, application fee, $1,500. That way we'll get the word permit out
I
of there.
thought we were still prorating it if they filed.
Yes, Rod, that's still effective.
Okay. Thank you.
We're
Not
not
prorating the application.
prorating the application fee.
Or the permit room?
We are, the permit renewal is the state's law.
The permit renewal should always be $1,500. It's just the initial
That's
permit.
what I
The initial permit
Initial
fee.
permit.
This is worded exactly right. Everything that says up here in this shaded is perfect. Everything that says right there is perfect. All we need is for an application fee is $1,500. So when you pick this up, you give you a check, you give her this.
No matter what time of the year.
Correct. It's $1,500 to fill this out.
Okay, then we,
And we'll do all the red tape. You get approved by us, you get approved by the state.
You need a permit.
then we still need to
Come
keep
get a
not
permit
prorated,
fee.
right, up there in the definition.
Right.
Okay,
Agreed.
I will do it.
Once you're clear of everything, you come down here and get your permit fee is gonna be whatever time of the year it is initially. That's what you got written, initial permit fee. And then on January 1st, which actually it says here, they want you to repay after December 1st for the annual permit renewal cost of $1,500.
You wanna have me make these changes and table this for another month, or?
Probably
Because
good.
this is a lot of changes.
Yeah.
Yes.
One thing too, that I want
What changes as discussed?
to, on page 6, we have a private club permit, a supplemental privilege permit, and a supplemental privilege permit fee. Is there a fee for the private club permit? Or is,
That's this 1,500, I think.
so what is the supplemental privilege permit fee?
Yeah,
That is the permit renewal. It says a fee established by the city for the privilege of operating a private club within the city, whether is hereby levied an annual supplemental privilege permit fee in the amount of $1,500. So, and that shouldn't be prorated.
well, we had it listed as prorated.
Well, okay, so this, to simplify this, it would seem like you could come up with a definition for a permit application fee and a permit renewal fee. And the permit application fee is $1,500 before July 1st, $750 after July 1st, and then the
That's the only thing on there.
the permit renewal is $1,500, period. And if their application is denied, they would be reimbursed, but in no case would it ever exceed the amount that they paid in, to make sure that we wouldn't pay $1,500 for a $750 fee. But those two are worded differently throughout the document. If we just call one a permit application fee and a permit renewal fee, then those two, and then we could say permit application fee, define it, permit renewal fee, define it, and then anytime it says $1,500 or whatever in this application, it will just say as defined in.
But the state is going to say it's your initial permit or it's your annual renewal permit.
Well, you've got a permit application fee and a permit renewal fee.
Well, I agree with you, but the permit application fee is $1,500 to apply for the city of Greenwood a private club license,
Okay.
regardless of when.
I agree.
Yeah,
Okay,
that
so we're
means
not
we're
gonna
making
do the
sure that they're
750.
serious.
Okay, I think that's great. I think that's great.
The $750 deal only is if you get a permit to open your establishment through the state.
Like
The last 6 months
in
of the year.
mid-year,
Yeah.
The last 6 months.
it's just a one-time thing.
Right.
Afterwards, it's always 1,500.
That's what it says on the top of that header of Exhibit A. Initial permit fee might be $1,500 or $750.
Like you started out the first of the year and you finally got your permit and it was after July, and you'll pay $750 for the
That's where
year.
it's right,
And then thereafter, I have $1,500 all the time.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It just
where
gives
it's
you a
right.
break
It just doesn't
When
say.
you have to wait in a year.
There's confusion that you're gonna pay $1,500 no matter what time of year you apply to fill out the application, it's $1,500. That just starts the process. Then, if you go through all the hoops and get the ordinance, and it's approved, and the state approves it, then you have to pay another fee for the permit.
Either $1,500 or
Now,
$750.
whether it's the beginning of the year or the end of the year, that dictates whether you pay $1,500 or $750.
Thank you. That's good. Clear.
Charlotte's gonna get two $1,500 checks during this process, one to come to us, and then 6 months later, she's gonna come back and say, I'll give you the permit, you got your state clear, where's my $1,500 check? She's gonna be swimming in $1,500 checks.
I'm not.
And you should go to Mexico.
No,
Overseas.
no, we don't even talk about that. Now, I am about that. I'm joking.
I'm still on page 6. Why do we have a private club permit and then a supplemental privilege permit?
I think it's just kind of breaking down this is the verbiage of all, we've been talking about definitions, and this is the actual whereas, whereas, beeth, all that.
It's the permit and then the fee for it. Those are two different things.
That's B and C, but what is the difference between A and B?
Where you going? Where are you going? Hey, Trent, pray for us. Thank you.
If you want a beer with your steak,
That's just telling you have to have the permit, it's just telling you what the permit gives you the ability to do. The way I'm reading that.
Which is what B is telling me too. It's saying if you're a private club, you can. I'm thinking we just need one or the other, but we do need C because he's saying that there is an additional fee in addition to the privileged license fee or regular business license fee. $25 a year.
I think that the private club deal, one thing I can see that jumps out at me is that the B is talking about operating one within the city. As opposed to A, it never mentions anything about a city. It's just talking about having a private club and selling.
Yeah, and maybe even something on a county line or a city county line or something. I don't know, pretend to know what all kind of, yeah.
There is a motion on the floor to table, correct?
With the changes
With the
discussed.
changes discussed.
Well, I guess we can go, the other thing about the changes, again, is, this is just a bit picky, but it, kind of confused me when I first read it. On page 5, under section 14, there's a 4 there, which I don't know what, that 4 needs to be omitted. It says, like the second sentence, in case the revocation or surrender of for such permit. This 4 needs to be just eliminated.
I'm sorry, which
Which
section?
section is that?
Section 14.
Second.
Right here.
Oh, that's weird. I think that must be a translation, yeah.
One of those. I guess the other question is, when they do a renewal fee, when is that due?
December 1st. January.
Somewhere it's in there, it says they want you to get it paid starting December 1st by the end, between that and the end of the year, or that is what I'm doing.
13,
Where's that at?
section 13.
Yeah.
They expire on at midnight, December 31st.
All permit fees shall be paid between the December 1st and 31st of each year.
So if I get it this year, then I don't have to pay it till December.
No, that's when we pay in December to renew for next year.
Yeah.
Doesn't say that. It says of each year. It doesn't say for the preceding or the following year or whatever. It says of each year. So the way I would interpret that is that I have till December to pay my renewal fee.
Or that you can only pay them in December.
That's the only time you want to, I would think. Like
Well, I said that you wanted like a month in advance or whatever, but I would just say that you need to, for the,
So should it say all permit renewal fees shall be paid?
between December 1st and December 31st, but words, need to pay in December for 2025 or 2026.
It's kind of like us saying we want to get our budget approved in December every year, we never do.
Right, but I said, to me, just saying each
Most
year,
people
kind
are
of,
never even pay in January,
I don't know
right?
how you put that there to make it
January 31st.
for the following year or what.
So I put a lot of stars by all the areas y'all are talking about. And I think I understand what y'all want. If y'all want to table it and bring it back next month, we can work it over.
I think there was already a motion.
Yeah, motion second.
Just need a second. And then, we can run it by the state statute too, just to check before we bring it back. That would be,
Maybe it'll last another 10 years. So,
Second.
so Travis,
Second.
Who?
Mr. Meeker.
clear. So Don Zimmerman wrote this the title. And that, so the reason we're back into this is because something in state law changed, and that's why we were looking at the taxation. Now we're into the weeds of some language, because we're gonna have somebody like AC fighting over his cable bill, looking at the wording and trying to catch us on something.
well, now's the time to catch it, honestly.
Yeah,
So
that's why maybe we'll make it for 10 years.
we can,
So this is correct, these percentages. They were, at the time Don Zimmerman wrote the header, it was just, it's changed, correct?
I can't remember what year this changed.
Like 04.
2019 maybe?
19,
I'd have to look.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Well, not only the percentages changed, but the qualification of a private club changed.
Yes.
That just changed this year.
Well, it's just this year.
Lockbox, you just changed it. All that lockbox, where they were talking about initially on this one deal.
Spins
The application.
Hey, I have a motion and a second. Sue?
Yep. Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Meeker?
Yes.
Mr. Terry?
Yes.
Rainwater?
Yes.
Mr. Tedford? Mr. Powell?
Yes.
Table.
I have a comment, or a question to Travis related to this. Travis, the lawyers always go for your classes at the municipal league stuff. So Conway, which this was all based off of Conway, because Conway's in the same situation we are, except they have 3 colleges in a much bigger town. But
Outside private clubs.
yeah, that's my question to you. They've gone in and they've worked on some districting, where they can be outside in the open and actually walk within a certain.
The entertainment district.
And if that comes up, I mean, if there's stuff that's going on in your classes and is related, I just wanted you to pay attention, because then that may be something we can work out with our planning and go in and set some areas like that, try to target the areas. And I know it happened because I questioned them a lot, because there's an area in downtown Conway, in an older part of town, it was very industrialized at one point. and there's signs you cannot pass this area, but you can walk from place to place with basically an open deal.
That's on Center Street down,
That's it.
yeah.
So you've been there? Yeah, I go there, there's a pizza place, and Ralph's probably been there.
I probably have, I just don't know.
Anyway, they're exactly like us.
There's the way to do that.
If they can do it, then we can do that.
I mean, we have to do that.
If you're ever in a class and you see it, you fully understand it, you can say, hey, we could go ahead and do this, I think I understand it well enough for, we can get it through.
I'll keep my eyes peeled.
Yeah, that's it.
I'll be down there next week.
Well, I'll be in there too. Won't be in the same classes.
Can I ask a question about that real quick?
Yes.
We
I don't know
looked-
much.
We looked for that grant class that you were referring to about next week, but we didn't find it.
It's in March.
Is it on their website?
Yes.
Because we.
That's the one we went to last year.
It's
We went
not,
last
so
year.
it's not the conference, it's a separate.
It's just
It's a separate,
it's
it's
just a
a
seminar.
separate deal. It's
Right.
March the
It's a
third or
stand,
fourth.
it's a standalone.
We looked and we were trying to.
Daniel Stewart and I went this last year.
It'll be it was gonna be in North Little Rock at the league headquarters.
It's not on their website.
Okay.
We
I'll
looked
look
last
at
time you
it.
brought it up. The only grant thing there is next week at the conference, there is a breakout session for water sewer grants, but not just a normal grant one. Maybe you got an email or something, I don't know, but it's not on the website. 'Cause we've been looking.
But he's not talking about at the conference.
I know he's not. He said in March, yeah.
Okay.
And it's not
But
on
that's
there.
good information. Does our water and sewer know that?
Yeah, she got the agenda and she's going.
Going?
Tim is not going.
I've been to those workshops, and I'll go to the next one.
Well, thank you for being diligent.
Yes, sir.
So, well, I'll look, it was in an email,
Okay.
and now if I go back and look for it, are y'all really interested in going, or y'all just?
We go to
I'm going.
all of them.
Okay.
I mean, but me and, like I said, me, Jeff, and Stuart went last year.
I'll go back and look for it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You're fine. All right, moving on. Number two, old unfinished. City clerk treasurer, millage rollback calculation was tabled from the previous meeting. You have some information from our illustrious Zach Johnson.
Yeah, he has communicated with me on email. He prepared this statement that's number 2 in your packet, along with an attachment where the little roundup to the nearest 1/10 detail is. He didn't know that before when he notified us. He just, by statute, is supposed to notify the taxing entities about this. And since then, it has come to light, there's this rounding up detail. So we are safe. It's just like we're taxing at 5 mils, so there's nothing to take action or do about. So reach out to him if you have any more questions, but we prepared this for y'all.
And you know Zach, I know you do, he's always wanting to help wherever we go. Any questions or comments regarding this? Okay.
Nothing to worry about.
Sorry.
I wish I knew him better.
Call him up. He's elected.
Well, I don't understand, he's saying that our 4.7A is gonna be rounded up to 5?
Yeah, it, yeah, we're at 5.
We're at 5.
We're at
We don't
5.
have to do the roll.
Okay.
Because we were within a 10.
Yeah, we're within a.
Most all communities are at 5 at the state max.
Yeah.
They've been at 5 for eons.
Okay, number 3, under new business, city council discussion on bid procedures. It was added from a previous meeting. I think Mr. Tedford had requested this, I believe.
Yep. Do you remember that, Steve?
I've probably absolutely slept since then.
Well, it is in the minutes. There is a little portion to refresh your memory if needed. And it's on page, it was when we were talking about the audit report, so item number 4, in the minutes from the December meeting. You had requested, it was about the state bid procedures that the city has, or Mayor was saying he had. So anyway, you requested that bid procedures be discussed at this meeting. so I added it to the agenda. I provided you also in addition copy of the Arkansas statute on bid procedures and shaded part on that item number 3 in your packet. Refers to state bid procurement. And then I've given you a copy is also attached of our current bid procedures ordinance.
We may have to table that to next month.
No discussion?
I mean, do you remember if you,
I'll have to go back and look at it again and ground myself in it.
Okay. So we want to table it?
Second.
Steve, do you want to make a motion to table?
Motion to
I'll
table.
have to make a motion that we table.
Second. Anybody?
Second.
Tim Terry?
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Baker?
Yes.
Mr. Terry?
Yes.
Mr. Rainwater?
Yes.
Mr. Shepherd?
Yes.
Mr. Rattler?
Yes.
Thank you. Number 4 is planning ordinance amending ordinance 23-10 incorporating regulations for accessory dwelling units, emergency passage. Mr. Hunter. You are Hunter Michaels, correct?
That is I. I think I can talk loud enough. Sorry. This is one of the state legislation changes from this last session that we were mandated to incorporate into our zoning ordinance. It was supposed to have been done January 1st. I did not get to it via the emergency passage. This is what I call a quick and dirty, adhere to state law, and just amend our current zoning ordinance while we undergo an actual massive, large-scale zoning change. Yeah.
So this will bring us within current state law, but you intend to go into the weeds a little bit deeper throughout the year and come back with a massive.
There are other changes that do have to be made, but they were not mandated to be changed by a certain date. They would just be changed by April, July, something this year. I believe in your packets, you have a version of this that had 2 exhibits. You would have had Act 313, which adds the accessory dwelling unit language, and then you would have had exhibit Part B, which would add the planning tool, which would allow for administrative rezonings. After Sonny and I have talked to another planner in and around the state, we determined that we would not like to add that at this time. It's not required of us to add it, it was just a tool for us to use. I think there's too many liabilities associated with it at this time, and we'd rather see another couple of cities take it over first and see how they implement it, see if they end up in court, and keep us out. So.
What's left in your ordinance, to revise? There's nothing left.
Back at page 2,
It's a header and an emergency clause, everything else is struck.
You should have section 1, amendment to zoning ordinance text for accessory dwelling units.
that's on the front.
They do.
Yes, and that should continue, and the language that would be added into our existing ordinance is in italics. Everything else is just pertinent to this specific ordinance is generic language. And then everything that you see stricken and highlighted is the other passage that we were going to remove, or we were requesting removal.
Our legislatures, they hate cities.
Yes, they do.
The realtor lobby,
I think it's Home Builder Association law.
what do you think?
I don't know that they hate cities, but they hate local control. it seems.
Right, that's
That's
right.
local control.
Well, they don't mind the city being there as long as you can just do whatever you want.
Right.
You got worse coming.
Right.
Is there, you already got plans?
I can go into detail on this if you want, but to be honest, this is pretty much cutting and pasting from state law.
Kind of what we have.
And the state law was pretty plain, it ties our hands, we can't regulate more.
So, and you do have an emergency clause on here. That's the only thing left.
Yes. In my emergency clauses, I intend to, from now on, to justify the reason for the emergency clause in the emergency clause section. That way, there's on record, on file, always the reason why we're gonna do it.
Can we add declaring an emergency in the title?
I forgot that was one thing you asked me to do. And I
I'll add
thought it was-
With that
Now we're in
change,
court, good job, Hunter.
with that change to the title, I'll make a motion to put this on first reading by title only.
Got a motion and a second, first reading title only.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Baker?
Yes.
Mr. Terry?
Yes.
Rainwater?
Yes.
Mr. Tedford?
Yes.
Mr. Powell?
Yes.
It's unanimous. An ordinance to amend Exhibit A to Ordinance 23-10 to incorporate state mandated regulations for accessory dwelling units, declaring an emergency and for other purposes.
Make a motion to waive the second, third reading.
Second.
Motion and second to waive the second, third reading.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Meeker?
Yes.
Mr. Terry?
Yes.
Mr. Rainwater?
Yes.
Mr. Tedford?
Yes.
Mr. Powell?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Make the motion that we adopt.
Second.
Motion and second to adopt.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Meeker?
Yes.
Mr. Terry?
Yes.
Mr. Rainwater?
Yes.
Mr. Tedford?
Yes.
Mr. Powell?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Make a motion to revoke the emergency clause.
Second.
Motion and second to vote the emergency clause.
Was that correct? Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Meeker?
Yes.
Mr. Terry?
Yes.
Mr. Rainwater?
Yes.
Mr. Tedford?
Yes.
Mr. Powell?
It was your second, wasn't it, Councilman? Yes, sir.
Sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Michaels, appreciate your work. Okay, number 5, resolution in support of reviving state-run federal surplus program, property program. The resolution, well, let me, it's self-explanatory, but powers that be, and the reason, I'll just jump to the reason. Program was recently shut down due to a reported $300,000 operating deficit, largely caused by changes in federal policy that shifted surplus property sales to online platforms, reducing the volume of high-value items available to the state, and so on and so on. So it has been, this may be a little too late. I hope it's not, but we're trying, there is a, AML has suggested that we present this and send it on to the governor and the General Assembly and try to keep this from closing down. We, the city, have utilized this over the years. I don't think we've got a whole lot of large equipment items from them, but the folks that's hurting this, that are gonna be hurt the most, are the small towns, Hartford, Hackett, Mansfield, all those, everybody, because they don't necessarily buy equipment either. I mean, some do, but, you know, they're relying on this for filing cabinets. I even talked to a mayor that says this is where I get my pens and paper clips and all that, so there is a move to shut it down. I think I heard today that, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
That it may be too little too late, as I said, but I think it's important that if you guys can agree to try to keep this open, is that we pass this on and do our part to do just that.
Well, it certainly didn't hurt to pass this on.
Right.
And it does look like it's weighted, I think that is something that was weighted to small towns.
Yep.
Large towns don't care.
Right.
Waldron, Greenwood can benefit from places like this.
Yep.
I make a motion we adopt the resolution.
Second.
And motion second to adopt?
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Meeker?
Yes.
Mr. Terry?
Yes.
Mr. Rainwater?
Yes.
Mr. Tedford? Mr. Powell?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Get that to where it needs to go. Department reports and questions from council. Still have a few here. Several, actually. There they are, gentlemen. You got questions or comments for them?
A budget. Are y'all gonna submit your budget? I'm talking to fire and streets.
So,
The play this tomorrow night for 6, I think.
Study session.
yeah, we got a study session tomorrow night at 6 for those in the general, including Chief Brian and I met with Tom today to go over his, got that all set. Jeff had some tweaking to do, you got it already, so he's good, I've already done it, my part, but they've done their part. So we're good to rock and roll tomorrow night, if you guys are at 6.
Is it general, street and fire?
Yes.
Sorry, I misunderstood the text. Charlotte had text.
So there was a question whether or not we were gonna need to
Right.
reschedule.
Because I didn't have the dates
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
discussions with them. So I didn't know whether that was going to be happening.
Yeah, we're all good.
Everybody
They
good
picked
for
up
tomorrow night at
the
6? You're not?
That's fine. I'll figure it out.
Are both of y'all gonna be there tomorrow night?
Absolutely.
Better, they're presenting it.
Well, I don't know. That's why we're here,
You never know.
this late in the game.
Yeah.
So everybody, sound like except for Mr. Terry, Councilman
My
Terry.
apologies.
Okay. Good. Okay, tomorrow night at 6?
What is it, street, fire, and
General. Anything else for the department heads? If not, we'll go to council forum. Mr., what's your name, Bob? Mr. Purvis, I know has something he'd like to visit with you about.
Talk a little sales tax. Back in,
Sales tax renewal.
yes, back in the 1970s, my dad at the Game and Fish Commission handled that surplus program for game and fish. And he'd get a list from the state of here's what's available. And he got a note that said that one thing's available, 18 cases of assorted nuts, bolts, and cotter keys. And he thought, well, that'd be probably handy for all our field offices. Everybody have a good box of nuts, bolts, and cotter keys and screws. So he checked and said, send all 18 of them. About 3 weeks later, somebody came in and said, George, there's 6 semi-trucks sitting outside with a delivery for you. It was 18 walk-in buildings full of nuts,
Not
bolts,
boxes.
and cotter, millions of stuff.
And they haven't run out yet.
Yeah, they still got them.
It still goes.
I made that week before that. We talked about the need to have some talking points and all be on the same page. And so we put some thoughts together. The staff went over them this morning and made a few revisions and changes a couple of things, but just to talk about what we're doing, why we're doing, what we're renewing, and make sure we all say the same things. Because I think it's important that we've got a unified message. This is not graven in stone by any means, but I think these are the major points. We're going to talk about this as a renewal. We're going to talk about this for 10 years, and then 10 years, we're going to talk about it again. We're going to talk about that because we're kind of a regional hub for people in South Sebastian County. A lot of our sales tax is paid by people that don't live in Greenwood, and that's an advantage for us. It provides a lot of funding for the fire department. Talks about our class 2 fire rating, that we're in the top 5% of cities in the nation in our fire rating. It talks about that we've got really great parks. Name another town our size that's got a bell park. Anything like that. Our street department constantly doing the repairs. These monies are also, brought to the points you've made several times, a lot of this money is multiplied over and over and over because when our departments do things, we get grants. And we only have to put up 20%, so it's multiplied 5 times on those things. It's a public safety tax in a lot of different ways. Without the 3/4 cent sales tax, these departments will be much more dependent on general fund, which is where a lot of our police department funding comes from, which means everything gets hurt when that has to happen. So it contributes. We're known as a safe city in Arkansas, and this keeps us moving forward. There is an opportunity to stay safe, healthy, and prosperous. Added to that, the second set is fact sheets. These are put together by department heads. And I will say that Casey and Stuart and Jeff and I were all our own secretaries. So if you see something that looks like maybe we had a little, like the Microsoft Word that didn't line up exactly right, that would be why. But these are projects that have been done. and plans for the future. I forgot to ask Stuart for his plans for the future, he's gonna get that to me next day. What I would ask of you all to do with this at this point, read them, see what we missed. Because you're the ones that are gonna have to, you're gonna have to administer this, you're gonna have to go with this. So read all these points over, see what we've missed, see what we need to take out, particularly on the fact sheets. If we need to cut these by 2/3 of the PM, we want to show the public that a lot has been done over the years. It's not just in free money sitting there. The city has done a lot with money. So at this point, I don't really have anything I want you guys to approve one way or the other than I wish you looked at these. And then if we had a few minutes, maybe we could talk about it again tomorrow evening if there's thoughts on that.
Bob, did you put in this, I glanced through it since you revised it. Is there, you mentioned the grants a while ago, and that's something I haven't really talked about too much, to be able to use this money to multiply it. I don't think that's in print anywhere, is it?
It was in one of mine about the cost share on on these. I put it in mine, you may not have made this.
Okay, I mean, I think that's a great point to make.
Yeah, it's, you know, we're putting in 20 cents on a lot of these projects, the parks projects, the projects at the street department, doing fire department, you know, we get $100,000 for home.
Right.
You know, we talked about the importance of Greenwood having the money to grease the skids with the state on the bypass project. And if you don't have that, you don't have the ability to match that, the state's not gonna look at your project. And that's gonna really help the city.
Everything, this just allows us to, we're investing in the future of Greenwood, that's all this is.
Yeah. Originally, when we passed this tax, there were certain stipulations on what the money can go for, and we're talking about grants, matching funds for grants as most part of the.
Exactly, it has to be.
It has to be a project that's within what's approved in the ordinance,
Yeah.
so it's not everything.
It just frees up the money. I guess my point is not that we use necessarily the money to, this tax money for that, but it frees up money from other
Oh, I see what
things.
you're saying, okay, yeah,
Yeah, it just makes it all bigger.
Yeah, I got you.
It's like a piece of dough.
I see what you're saying.
Or something.
Yeah.
And I know that may be hard to explain
No, I know what you're
to
saying.
people.
If we have to write a check for 20% of something, the highway department doesn't care which fluid.
Right.
In the same sense that if it were not to be renewed, that doesn't just affect those three departments, it affects that department and everybody else.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why public safety is probably the most important part of it, just because of the ripple effect it would have.
And I made a comment today, and I have been for several months, and the department had to get tired of hearing it, but we'll continue to. I said November today, but it dawned on me, no, it's March, it's not November. We don't have much time to really work on this. And so, as I look at these department heads that have several employees that they talk to, fire department, street, or police for sure, multiple families that need to know this, and don't, not just in passing, hey, we need to get this passed. We gotta get people to the polls.
And plans, just roughly, that we just started talking about, but we lay out things we have to do. 2 town halls that we'll put together, and I will tell y'all that our star in all this will be Mike, because he does make a good presentation.
That's good.
We'll do a couple town halls, we'll do a presentation at the senior center, and I would suggest we do that fairly soon, because we can ask them to be advocates. We go to a fire meeting, and ask the fire department to be advocates for it. I'm also going to ask Chief Slip to go to come in at one of his staff meetings, so we can get these points to everybody, talking them up. The other thing we're working on, our county clerk has agreed to do like we did several years ago, do a voter registration program in high school for the kids that are turning 18. So we're trying to set up an assembly up there so we can hopefully find maybe another 100 or so votes right there, and then we did that very successfully over the last sales tax initiative, so we will.
I don't know, we have to do that pretty quick. It's pretty strenuous by the time they register to when they can vote. I mean, there's a little.
I think it's 30 days before.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, there's a little window there.
Yeah, there's a little window in there, and I gotta find out exactly what those are, and then see if we can set the meeting up.
Yeah. Well, it seems like my son, he turned like 18 on July 1st, but he couldn't vote in something that was.
Yeah, and I think you can register before your birthday. If I understand what she told us last time, say your birthday is March 2nd, the election's March 3rd. You can register on February 2nd, and vote in there.
I got one for fire, like maybe 20. It should say supported and supplied safety gear for in excess of 30 volunteer firefighters. Steve's got some written down.
Well, again, I'm sorry.
We need to add in the sidewalks along 10 Star and the improvements that do go off with the Arkansas Department of Transportation on there.
We can't on the sidewalk because that was our money.
That's already,
But did we match?
Yeah, you did.
Well, we included sidewalks from the street.
well, there is a percentage
Yeah,
of that.
and originally it was
It
20%.
was 20, but it ended up being 45.
Yeah, exactly.
We did match money on that.
Yes, we did.
But that's an important point, because you have that money to match.
Right.
It's not the tax dollars, but it's freed up
Yeah, we,
using the tax
can do
dollars.
those things.
Yeah, otherwise we wouldn't be able to do it.
But we're taking small amounts of money and turning it into larger amounts of money, and that would not have happened if we did not have the sales tax.
Big money.
Your overlays are, there's a match there, yeah?
Yes.
Yes, on some of them.
On some of them.
Not all. Some of
The
them.
ones you listed, well,
Yeah, we qualify for
The
quite a bit of money
ones that are listed
for
are, then you have other things
all
on
that
that.
dirt back.
Unfortunately, and I'll be the elephant in the room or whatever, but your future projects don't include overlaying Center Street. And that's gonna be the one that kills us. 10 Spur,
Well, it's supposed to be for longer
not,
than that period.
right?
Right, that's longer than 10 years from now.
Yeah.
So you could
Yeah.
realistically,
So-
Much longer than 10 years.
the tax, it's gonna be for 10 years, so that won't be done until after 10 years.
The engineer told me that we should anticipate 20 years of life on that overlay.
That's why I'm saying half of that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that will probably happen on the next
If
review.
we get that 14 inches of snow or whatever, in
We gotta
February,
keep-
we'll
we
be
gotta
on
keep the
that
trucks
thing
off
in
of it.
June,
Oh, yeah.
period.
Thoughts, guys, and I don't want you to hurry, I say, if everybody has a chance to look over this evening or tomorrow, we'll talk about it again tomorrow, if y'all can start, y'all will make some changes, go forward. No pride in authorship in this at all, we're just trying to all be in the same place here.
This is a great deal, I 100% agree.
street department is, did you already mention the signs that we're gonna do?
No.
Yeah, we hadn't got together, we had out visited the other day, we're gonna kind of put a little plan up of where to stick some signs and try to get that done
Paid
here in
for
the
by
next
your,
weeks.
your city.
Yeah, paid for by your city sales and use tax, so like
Exactly like what you see the highway department signs up.
the splash pad.
Right, advertising that we can do,
Right.
which, just like you
Exactly,
said,
yeah,
this was made because of your.
Possible.
exactly.
Well, you know, when he's got a sign out there on the inclusive part going toward Westwood, you could surprise sit up and add something, help complete this project
Casey in on the plot.
by passing this tax.
You're about to see the park.
Could we put one on a fire truck and just drive it around?
You're about to see,
On future projects, can we put an extensive drainage study? I mean, we are planning,
Yeah, that drainage study.
it says drainage.
Is that a future project?
Drainage is-
I know we had to have the future
Yeah.
drainage plans.
Yeah, we did.
Listed down there.
That was on the list.
Thanks to Hunter came talking about.
Did you get
I'll be
one
on
of
that.
these? Did y'all get one of these?
So,
Down to them, they want-
we didn't get
The
to,
fact sheet? I want y'all to look at what we put down, make sure I don't miss anything.
I'll be wondering.
There was a couple of cases, I was also interpreting what they were talking about terminology, like.
Bob, where do you get the funds to do all this?
Well, tomorrow night, when y'all come back to the meeting, you better bring a check.
Yeah.
People up now. There's not a lot of money we can spend, because we just don't have, we don't have a local radio station, we don't have places we can buy it. We need to get some signs out, that's probably the biggest thing. And as all of you guys are gonna discover when your re-election bids come up this fall, price of the little street signs has just.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what,
Little corrugated signs have to go.
let me tell you something, and I can do this for free. That's why I'm up here tomorrow, because we start basketball season tomorrow, and I'll be broadcasting from Van Buren. So if you'll print me up what you want me to say, I'll say whatever you want me to say about removing this tax.
I'll send you a text.
That's fine.
All right. I'll do it.
We'll have 2 games a week until
what's the
March.
March? Then give it away.
Yeah, that's right.
every one of y'all made a social media post on your private message, that would go out all your.
Jeff, I had social media.
Jeff, I had social media.
So we'll start, and so we can do it on the city. What the object of this fact sheet is for the city to put out an official fact sheet. That's not campaign, that's, here it is, here are the facts. So that's why, if you guys can always look at that and say, hey, yeah, these are the things, narrow it down, add to it, whatever, then the city, then, you know, can put out a fact sheet, put it on the website, put it on the Facebook page, and have it there. About doing another Facebook page, but nobody was going to exist, so I don't see any point doing special.
Didn't we run into that for city time, you can't.
Yeah, he's saying
You
just
put
the fact
facts out.
of what was spent
Yeah.
with tax money, not saying go vote for this fact.
Don't say vote or yes.
Yeah, don't say
Say,
vote.
I'm on the city side.
You
Just
gotta be
say what
careful.
you did.
Yeah.
As far as that goes.
Yeah, and purple page is hopefully everybody will.
Thank you, Bob, for your forward progress and energy
Right,
on this.
and we all glance over it, and then tomorrow we'll take you note, that's okay.
We need the future projects for fire.
Chief,
Right,
you listen?
when everybody took a day off to put his stuff together for it, and I forgot to ask you about the future projects, but I said in the text, we were both holidays.
When we do our fact sheet, especially on streets, I mean, do we need to clarify that part of that was grant money or not money and part of it was tax money? We don't want to be misleading.
You know, probably generically saying we're
In
using
part.
this money to amplify,
Particle,
but getting down to specific, which street, which drain, that's gonna do.
Just saying part of full though, up
We'll
there to
keep
disclaim it.
Part by,
You know.
These projects paid in
Yeah.
part are all.
Correct.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, keep it
That-
fairly
that fits
simple,
that.
good. It's like my friend that had a t-shirt shop. If you wanna buy that shirt, you can buy a red one or a gray one. I said, why don't you have a green? If I have three, they'll want a purple one. So keep it simple. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, anything else for council? I mean, for the council forum, that's where we are, sorry.
I was just wanting to, I think, I talked a little bit about with Bob about this, but, you know, this is the 250th year, you know, do we have anything in the works for celebration?
Well, I will give you my list. I told AC about some of this. One of the things we thought would be really cool was if we could have a fly, you know, underneath, you know, that jet come zooming over and have the band come play the national anthem right after the flyover, right before the flyover. So I happened to meet Colonel Johnson, National Guard, who told me that his office was the one that issued the yes or no's on those in Arkansas. And told me where the process began, and began with the Department of Defense. Going through it, it's multiple pages to do online. And then I found out that you have to go to the FAA, and the FAA has to approve any event flyover that you do. So I sent the application off for FAA, and it, 2 or 3 days later, I got approval back to the FAA, they approved it, have a flyover. So then I went to the Department of Defense Instruction Part, did all this on DOD, and then it says, but if you want Air Force, you gotta go to the Air Force and do their thing. So I went to the Air Force site and started the whole process over again. And some things take 5-6 days at a time, and take 3 or 4 days. I got approval back from the United States Air Force for a flyover at 4th of July, Greenwood, America. And then they said, hope you can find somebody that's got an airplane. What? FAA approves the route, Air Force says nothing over that anymore. Air Force approves it, says, yes, you're eligible, it'll be a great deal, but the Air Force doesn't help you get somebody that has an airplane. They have a website that lists all the Air Force bases in the United States, and you can contact one of them and see if the base commander there would be willing to let an airplane come fly over your event.
Yes,
Norwalk Air
you
Force
already
Base
asked.
has C-130s, they don't fly on federal holidays. So they're out. The only That may be what we asked for, because the only place we get a jet, nearest place is Tulsa Airport, there's an F-15 squadron there. We don't have any contact with them. The F-35s here belong to the United States Air Force, belong to Poland.
Yeah, I meant that guy.
You talking about for the 4th of July?
Just email Poland.
I've talked to them, and they said that's a
They've been
no-go.
having to use those things here lately already.
Yeah, so, anyway, that's what we're out on the deal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm finishing the process to see if I can get a military band to come down, and there's a regional Air Force band that covers this region of the country. And I got that process all the way down the park that said, where I signed a deal that says I agree to pay for transportation, meals, and lodging for 3 days for 75 people.
What? 75.
So, that's where we are.
So bottom line is we're gonna get Daniel to fly his drone
Yeah.
right across.
I think that's right.
Or Mike McKellar.
Tell me about, we're trying to get banned to come in. We are official, we are the first official event adopted for today in the city of Arkansas. So, look, we got our name on it.
Bob, I appreciate your diligence, how you do your job.
Thank you. We're gonna, we don't mind, I don't mind getting told no, I just keep trying. And I won't give up on that deal. We're gonna fight. We may end up asking a high school band to play and do an national anthem, but we're gonna try to make a little bit more newsworthy event for Greenwood, America, as a patriotic town. That's the bottom line of what we're gonna do.
Well, Daniel will tell you yes.
So we're talking about the 250, we're also gonna be celebrating our 175.
Yeah, and 175, we met with the Historical Society last month. I'm gonna be with them again this month.
Yeah.
But Ed was kind of trying to be the driving force behind that, and it really Ed went into a,
Right.
2-month hiatus there. He's back at work and, just act like Ed. So I'll meet with him this month, see what we can kind of develop. I talked to Don, they've had some ideas, but coalescing it all is gonna be interesting.
Let me know, I'd like to attend that if I can, because we don't need to drop that one.
Yeah, well,
I mean, I know you're not. I'm just
it's
saying.
it's the Wednesday before the third Monday, whatever that is.
Yeah,
It's kind of screwy, but
13th, 15th, somewhere
Oh,
over there. I'll find out and
yeah.
let you know.
Okay. Let me-
Because we were gonna volunteer you to be the judge to read the proclamation.
Well, I think it's just, I noticed the other day on Facebook that Van Buren, Joe Hirsch, Mayor Hirsch, put a blurb that.
They're 181st.
181st, and that was nice, but, and I know it's not 170, it's not, whatever 175 is, we've heard several.
There was words.
There's a lot of words. But I thought, man, that's cool, but I didn't see any celebration. They may have, they may have.
No, that's just that.
Okay, and it's a year, it's not just 175. Okay, so let me know, and hopefully we can get that rolling.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, appreciate you. Anything else for council on your form?
I was reviewing or watching the YouTube study session, and there's a lot of talking over each other and everything. Do you want me to just not YouTube live our study sessions, since there's usually so long? It even times out. I mean, those ones you tend to get involved in conversation, and it just, it's kind of not more eating, and it's just kind of not a good look.
It's bad.
So, I mean, I know y'all voted to do that.
Still record.
Yeah, it's gonna be recorded still, my audio.
Video.
I don't do minutes for it.
It still looks transparent, even though you can't understand it. It looks like we're trying to.
And if it times out, at least I tried.
Have you watched it though?
I'm sure it's, we're eating a sandwich and.
There was literally 15 conversations going on at the same time, and because it's not a voting meeting, it's a study session, and I watched it, and I thought, if I was a new citizen, and I thought, hey, I'm gonna watch what's going on in City Hall, and that's what I saw, I would think, wow.
It's a lot different than this.
What's happening?
Anyway.
It's a workshop. Right.
Yeah, I'd always vote for transparency.
It just looks like we're kind
Well,
of.
we just need to try to have a little more decorum, I guess, where you're going with this, even in a study
The
session.
food, it's just kind of weird.
We can.
I'm just saying, that's kind of what you are implying.
Exactly, one or the other, either don't live stream it, or let's get our act together.
Trying to be a little more safe.
And I'm including myself.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they are working meetings to rouse points, and I'm just saying,
Yeah.
we can make it a little more, I get what you're saying.
Okay. So, is there a consensus to keep live streaming it, or?
I'd say keep live streaming.
I'm good.
Y'all's meeting?
We'll work on our organization.
All right,
and our-
let's try that.
Okay.
Let's try that, and then I would encourage you, let's do that. Let's try to work on our department. I have to look myself, and then watch it. And let me know what you think.
Yeah, watch it and you'll see what you think about that.
So,
Well, I mean, are you saying that you're not able to get orders because it's a study session
I
by rule, or?
I don't know that I have,
would
I don't,
say go ahead and do
even
it.
when I adjourn it, it's somebody not, it says we don't even have to do that because it's not a meeting.
There's just something different about study sessions, the kind of conversations y'all get involved in. You'll get relaxed, and I mean, it's just different.
Well,
And-
usually
and
go
I'm
off the
stuck-
line, we talk about the student
It
stoplights.
is not like this here, it's just like this. Just wondered.
I'm good with trying
No, I think
to
it makes
clean it
sense.
or, and we're not, nobody's trying to hide anything.
No,
This is
no.
not about that
And
at
it's
all.
still recorded, the whole thing
For
is.
sure. So,
Everybody can ask for it, and I keep it.
we'll,
I'm sure the recording's even worse than the.
oh, I
Yeah, it's all-
can't imagine you hearing anything. Bless her heart.
It's a good thing I don't do that.
If we turn off every other mic,
Uh,
turn off every other mic, you still get the audio.
Starting on what end?
All right, just wanted to bring that up, thank you.
Keep it crossed.
Keep going.
Okay, anything else? Or Randy, do you have anything real quick? Danielle wants to stay a little while longer, so if we can stay till 9:30, that'd be great. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you all very much.
And they get their salaries.
YouTube.